see that is supposed to be the Nkrumahist movement. My brother, my sister, had a little bit of Nkrumah at heart. As for these people in power, they are avowed enemies of the Republic and Kwame Nkrumah. You all remember how many times they attempted on the life of Kwame Nkrumah. How many times they spread propaganda about the Republic and even Nkrumah. To say the least, when we were even getting our independence, they ran to the Queen of England. They sent Buzia to run all the way to the Queen of England on his knees, begging with tears running down from his eyes that we were not ready for independence. And that the Queen of England should spare us the moment of jeopardy if Nkrumah was ever allowed to be president, because the country would be slumped into a certain mayhem that could never be retrieved. At the end of it all, my brother, my sister, Nkrumah's whims and caprices, his energy was too strong. The momentum was exceptionally great. They could not stop him. He moved on and he made it happen. When they realized that they had failed to convince the Queen of England to de-accelerate the movement of the economy and the Republic, they now visited Nkrumah with personal body harm, bombing him night and day. And all those close to him, they did not care, killing them as long as they got in the way. We all remember the Kulungungu bombings, when innocent school children were slaughtered like rats right there on the table of the laboratories. We all remember the Accra Sports Stadium bombings, when innocent people were slaughtered like rats in Afghanistan. At the end of it all, my brother, the Commander Sugar Factory, which was an original idea of Kwame Nkrumah, returned, and we were all happy. But it was for cheap political points. They had forgotten that in 1964, when Kwame Nkrumah built the Commander Factory, my brother, my sister, they made sure that they had enough sugar canes to crush. But since they kicked Kwame Nkrumah out of the presidency and even killed him, they forgot that they could not kill his ideas. When his ideas were returning, the proponents of those ideas, or the students of Kwame Nkrumah's ideas, failed to envisage that the days of Nkrumah have changed. Nkrumah was a progressive leader. Therefore, you cannot make Nkrumah stagnant. You cannot stagnatize Nkrumah. No way. His ideas are progressive. Every second when you turn around to look at the ideas of Kwame Nkrumah, they are racing geometrically. They are never stagnant. That is why all this while, his ideas have never been muddy. All this while, his ideas have never run stale. All this while, my brother, my sister, his ideas have not gone rancid like your oil. Hear me now. My brother, my sister, sugar came. We all enjoyed it. And when they brought back the Commander Sugar Factory, they forgot that poverty, after the closure of the initial Commander Sugar Factory, unemployment brought about poverty. The people were still planting the sugar cane. Some of them left the sugar cane business. They were planting a lot of sugar cane in Commander, all because of the sugar factory. Now that the sugar factory had been destroyed by demons and principalities of the UP tradition, the Buzia Dankwa tradition, my brother, my sister, they wanted the people of Commander to still live in the past, produce sugar cane for a non-existent sugarcane factory. So when they went with the factory, there was no sugarcane. Number two, now those who remained in the sugarcane producing business had to find another use for their sugarcane. In economics, we call that competitive demand. I explain it better. Hear me now. Now, when you produce sugarcane, you can either use it for appetition or use it for sugar. In fact, you could even use it raw, just chew it and enjoy the juice. You could just juice it and use it for some snack. These are all competitive purposes, or better still, that one sugarcane has a lot of competitive demands. In the days of Nkrumah, the number one demand was the sugar factory, and they were paid well enough. Sugarcane farmers were making money almost like cocoa farmers. But since they got out of business with the running down of the original Commander sugar cane factory, they decided to satisfy the other demands. And what were the other demands? Top on the agenda, appetition. Commander now produced sugarcane to be used as appetition. Now, those of you who have traveled that lane, that stretch, you realize that the moment you climb on the River Pra Bridge, coming down, you smell only sugarcane. All the way down to Daboasi and over. Commander, over, is all sugarcane. But the sugarcane smells like appetition because they are using it for appetition. They have become used to the production of appetition. It gives them quick money. Now you come with your factory. What have you done to give them a certain impetus, to raise their adrenaline levels, to be able to produce the sugarcane for your factory? Nothing like that. They were still living in the past. Oh, they did it for Nkrumah, so they will do it again. No, sir. So the factory became a white elephant. NPP government, better still, vindictive NPP government, under his what? Sleepiness, Mr. Sleepydent, my brother, my sister, they decided not to touch any of the projects done by the former government. Kwame Nkrumah, remember they fought Kwame Nkrumah's projects. Some of them they even set on fire. So anybody who talks Kwame Nkrumah around this government, my brother, my sister, is an enemy of this government. That is why I keep talking Nkrumah every day, because I want to be an enemy of this government. As long as you want to play neutral, my brother, my sister, you will play the hypocrite, because the truth is only one. Whoever does not stand with the truth stands with falsehood. There's no line in between. You are either with the truth or with the falsehood. You are either with the terrorists, the demons, and the principalities, or you are with God. There's no line in between. Today, my brother, my sister, I shed tears looking at photographs of the Commander Sugar Factory. Everything has gone rusty. No oil, no maintenance. This sugar factory that we went for so much money from India, loan, to build, has become the home of cockroaches, lizards, snakes, rats, mice, snakes, and so on and so forth. They are all there. And now, the last time I heard about this, Alan Chemateng was thinking about selling this thing so cheaply that they would be able to at least recover a certain amount from this investment. My brother, today I ask you a question. Why is it that African leaders are not ready to work in unison? Why is it that every government is ready to trample down the achievements of the last one? Why is it that every government is not ready for continuity? They are only ready to dismantle and build afresh. Why is it that they don't look at the welfare of the people, the citizenry? Why is it that they don't think about the republic? All they are thinking about is, what can we do to win the next election? Already they are talking about breaking the 8, which means winning the election even after 8 years in power. They are not thinking about the schools under trees. They are not thinking about those who are wading through water in order to reach the next hospital, in order to reach the next school. They are not thinking about how food prices are skyrocketing. They are not thinking about how foreigners have all of a sudden become demigods in this country. They are not thinking about how foreigners are being made chiefs all over Ghana, as long as they can give some smelly mouth chief some $200. They are not thinking about the inferior minded youth. They are not thinking about the inferiority complex that has bedeviled the citizenry. That they see any yellow Chinese as God. They see any red Indian as God. They see any white American as God. They see anything white as perfect. And anything black, even if it saves their lives, as demonic. The churches are filled with inferior-minded youth, being led by pastors who themselves are swimming in inferiority complex. My brother, I've said it time and again, and we say it without fear or favor. To God be the glory. My brother, my sister, when Lighthouse Boss came out right there in the Bono Ahafo region, Kintampo to be specific, and told the whole world that white people are closer to God and God listens to their prayer faster because they love God more than black people. My brother, my sister, today, the same man who said that white people are closer to God, my brother, my sister, has been taken to court by his own pastors, whose social whatever he has not paid, and they are demanding a lot of money. I won't go into that. But my brother, my sister, religion has swallowed us. Politics swallowed us. Because of religion, we kill each other night and day, as if we decide for God. Because of religion, so many marriages are falling apart. Because of religion, we have refused to unite. As if God was the author of confusion. Because of politics, we cannot unite. Because of politics, my brother, my sister, so many marriages have fallen asunder. Because of politics, my brother, my sister, we can't seem to see eye to eye. So I ask myself, have we gone or have we come? What have we achieved at all? From the day they started burning down the factories that Nkrumah built, from the day they started touching and setting ablaze all the wonderful infrastructure that Kwame Nkrumah brought, I knew that this country had been taken over by demons and principalities. And thanks to Baumia, he couldn't keep it in his stomach anymore. He has voiced it out. Principalities and demons. I expect my pastor to be talking demons and principalities. I expect my demons and principalities to be talked about in the church and in the mosque, not by politicians. If we wanted a religious state, we would have voted Duncan Williams. We would have voted Otabil. We would have voted Bishop Osei Tutu. We would have voted TB Joshua. But no, we didn't want a religious state. We wanted people who deal with the macro and the microeconomics. And we voted you into power. Now you are talking the language of the spirits. Demons and principalities. I feel sad that the Commander Sugar Factory has broken down and is fizzling geometrically into oblivion. My brother, my sister, it touches my heart that we demonize Kwame Nkrumah, that we hated him so much. We were so envious and so jealous of him when he was riding Ghana so fast. No wonder ex-President Kufuor said that Nkrumah was running too fast with industrialization, and that's what crippled Ghana. Such mediocre thinking, such hatred. But he forgot that his party, that all his uncles and all those people from Chebi and the rest, they made Nkrumah their target, bombing him night and day. They never gave him the time to sit down and think. Hey, let me tell you something. When Nkrumah left, or better still, when he was removed from power, he had time to write books. Look how many books he wrote whilst he was out. Whilst he was president, they never gave him the chance to even think a thought. They hated him so much, and they knew what he could do if they gave him a serene atmosphere to think. They couldn't match his intellect. They couldn't match his speed. After all, he had beaten them several fold after they invited him in 1948 to come down all the way from the UK to come and help build the UGCC. One man was able to make the whole UGCC useless. One man. Upon arrival, read the history. He immediately went to work. The UGCC that did not have an office, he fixed an office immediately and started keeping archival material for the office. They were shocked. They were begging him to rest. He said, hey, the devil does not rest. We got to work. And when they realized he was moving so fast, his intellect was too sharp, like a double-edged sword. My brother, my sister, they decided to strangulate his efforts. They made his efforts suffer from asphyxia. But Nkrumah had natural energy that surpassed them. The only way they could bring him down to his knees was through terrorism. Al-Qaeda, the Osama bin Ladens of those times were Edward Akufo-Addo, J.B. Dankwa, and all those other people who bombed him night and day. Today they call them the Big Six. There was only a big one and 5 terrorists. My brother, need I say more? Today, what Nkrumah did with the sugar factory, it came to a time everybody in Africa was eating Ghana sugar. And everybody tasting Ghana sugar attested to the fact that our sugar was the real sugar. Today, all the sugar you are eating is from France, St. Louis. Today, all the sugar you are eating is from a kitchen that you don't know. You are getting diabetes, dying night and day, spending our tax money to take care of your habits that you got from eating from kitchens that have no identity. All because you betrayed the Republic and betrayed Kwame Nkrumah. What kind of governments do we have in Africa? They don't understand continuity. They all want to go their separate ways. Oh, this is what I achieved. This person did this and left it. Could you continue? No, they won't do that. The credit would go to them. So who do you have allegiance to? My brother, my sister, today, honestly, I did not intend to dwell on this for even more than 5 minutes. But when the calls are, the shots are called, we have to stomach them. When would our leaders understand that it's all about the republic and it's not about braggadocio? It's not all about pride, self-aggrandizement. It's not all about peacock plumes and feathers. It's all about the nitty-gritties of the land, the economy, the people. My brother, my sister, now the Commander Factory, John Dumelo says he can do it. I don't doubt it. This is a guy who has onions all over the place. He's gone into mushroom farming. He was an actor who made it so big, at least around our cycles. And when the acting became a little rancid, what did he do? He jumped straight into action, tilled the ground, got dirty in order to make his pocket clean. Jesus have mercy. This is deep. Teach Blakk Rasta. I am saying that when the acting profession became a little rancid in this country, John Dumelo decided to till the ground, get dirty, so that he would make his pocket clean. I'm speaking proverbially. I don't doubt that he can deal with this. I wish that some of these guys will cut themselves totally away from politics and deal with the people directly, because it looks like there's a certain demon in the cycles of politics. No matter how good you are, when you enter there, you become useless. Look how many musicians have run around to take this cheap money from who, and their careers became useless. Look how many good-minded people have indulged in politics, and now they've become nitwits, non-entities, non-existent beings, and homo sapiens. John Dumelo, we wish you all the best. If they ever give this to you, if they don't sell it to do their cheap propaganda, my brother, my sister, and to President Mahama, you see what your decision to build Commander Sugar Factory has done to us? When you took that loan, you were thinking about winning the election. You were not thinking about how it will help the Ghanaian. What's the continuity? You built it and left it, ran out of gas, and now you have only succeeded in building a home for mice, snakes, reptiles, cockroaches, butterflies. We leave it here, my brother, my sister. I'm going to tackle the next thing. It's sad. Hey, my brother, it's sad if you ever become a politician or a leader. If I were the president of this country, my first tenure of office, I would deal with all uncompleted projects from Nkrumah. Or no new projects. Why do you keep telling new stories when old stories are not completed? Half a story should never be told. How many people have heard this proverb? Half a story has never been told and should never ever be told. You tell a story halfway, then that's it, you walk away. What kind of story is that? At least even if you are walking away, let them know that it's going to be continued. When is it going to be continued? You can't tell a story. If you must tell the story, you must tell it all. If I was the president of this country, no new projects. All projects from the days of Kwame Nkrumah. We would even go back to the days of Commander Hill. All the way back to the days of Sir Charles McCarthy. And look at all those projects and start fixing all of them and resurrecting them, one after the other. That is continuity. That's wisdom. You want to build a new house and name it Nanado House. So that when you die, they'll say, oh, this Nanado did this. Forgetting that there are very important, uncompleted things that you would touch and the credit will still come to you. And even more. We leave it here. Well, still talking about uncompleted projects. I'm reading this from Peace FM Online. And it says, this one was published yesterday, the 18th of August, 2021. It says, it is amusing when people tell us to complete abandoned hospital projects. Dr. Insia Asari says, government has not left them to rot. You heard that? All right, so let's read first two paragraphs. Former Director General of the Ghana Health Service, GHS, and now Presidential Advisor on Health, Dr. Anthony Insia Asare, has disclosed that government is currently working to complete all hospital projects begun under the erstwhile Mahama administration. He says though government has completed some of the projects, majority are still under construction as funds have already been secured for the projects. I'll leave it. So this man here is who? They say he's the former Director General of the Ghana Health Service and now the Presidential Advisor on Health. Listen, he's now the Presidential Advisor on Health. It means he advises the President on health. Where was he when they went to Dubai to sign contracts with thieves, terrorists? Where was he when they went to sign a contract for Sputnik V? Where was the special advisor on health to the president when the health minister arbitrarily decided to go and sign a contract with demons in Dubai? Anyway, he says, his name is Dr. Anthony Nsiasari. He says that they are building some of the hospitals, they have not abandoned them, and he's amused and all that. We wish that a lot of these things said by politicians will truly come to pass. But a lot of them are nothing but gimmicks. Agenda 111. Agenda 88 failed. Now they have accelerated it to Agenda 111. And they expect the Ghanaian to believe this. We would only believe when we see. You make a promise to me that you will give me dinner. You never brought dinner. The following day when I'm about to take breakfast, you come to me and tell me, hey, I'm bringing you breakfast, lunch, and supper. You failed yesterday. Do you think that I will listen to you? All I will say is, may say, African leaders must not take the electorate for a ride. Make sure that the trust that they gave to you in terms of their thumbprints. Anyway, a lot of them are thieves. They steal votes. When they buy your votes, how can they respect them? A man who feeds you controls you. To Dr. Insia Asa, Anthony Insia Asari, we are waiting to see. We pray that these things happen. We pray that you are able to raise enough money to deal with all these things. But as it stands right now, we've all opened our ears and all our minds waiting to see how these things are going to work. Because we have been beaten once. So we are twice shy. I leave this one here. The next thing I want to look at is this. And it's interesting. You need to open your ears and listen. Interesting. It says, commitment to corruption fight high. That's Nanado speaking. And this is from Graphic Online, the national communicator. And this is dated today, 19th August 2021. And it was published at 9:09 this morning. Written by one Donald Ato Dapatem. Hope I got the name right. I'm going to read. President Nana Adodankwa Akufo-Addo has stated that he has not shirked from fighting against corruption and will not retreat in ensuring that people manning state anti-graft agencies acted in the interest of Ghanaians. I don't think that my government has mobilized resources to give opportunity for the anti-corruption agencies of the state to function efficiently as possible as this government has done. It is a matter of record. What does he say? I don't get it. He says, I don't think that any government has mobilized resources to give opportunity for the anti-corruption agencies of the state to function efficiently as possible as this government has done. It is a matter of record. I leave it here. Nana Addo, his sleepiness, Mr. Sleepydent, says that his government has fought corruption more than any other government in history. And the records are there to show. That's what I just read. Should I read it again? I don't think that any government has mobilized resources to give opportunity for the anti-corruption agencies of the state to function efficiently as possible as this government has done. It is a matter of record. I know you are laughing. But stop the laughter. Let's get serious. Where is Dom Levo? Hounded out of office. They gave him a new age. It's like give a cat a bad name and hang it. A new age, and kicked him out of office. And the whole world saw. It has become an albatross on the 77-year-old Sleepydent. My brother, my sister, hear me now. Mr. President said he has fought corruption more than any other person in history of the state. Do you agree with that? Ish. We still remember the PDS fiasco. We still remember your flying in the sky and taking your bath, which has never been accounted for, all in the name of national security. We still remember how your minister of state security on state assignment went out there modeling and exhibiting his libidinous nature in front of a slave queen or a modern day prostitute's camera. You did nothing about it. That's corruption. You did nothing. You were sleeping. You're sleepy then. Your sleepiness, Mr. Sleepydent. Fast asleep. Right now he slept so much that he's gone blind. You all saw him when he was at the mosque trying to cut the tape. He cut hair more than 20 times before he finally touched the tape. Mr. Sleepydent has become totally blind. And he is saying that he has fought corruption more than any other person in the history of this country. PDS is still slapping our cringing brows. Kandapa, your minister of national security on state assignment, went out there flaunting his libido, wearing his pajamas and turning himself into an untrained model in front of a prostitute's camera. And it went viral all over. Not a word from the president. We all remember how Eugene Ahin rushed out by some political magic out of poverty, stark poverty. My brother, my sister, into largesse, into a bourgeoisie. A man who used to sell pampers, a man who used to run errands for Charterhouse, all of a sudden has become richer than the whole Charterhouse combined. He has houses all over, waterfront houses, modern day barbering shops, a fleet of cars, all in a period of a couple of years. He took his wife to tell the whole Ghana that this guy is a crook. Mr. President, you sat down in your sleepiness, your eminent sleepiness, Mr. Sleepydent. You saw nothing wrong with it. When Dom Levo started blowing the whistle, you boxed the teeth out of his mouth so that his whistle could not be heard. Is that fighting corruption? Under your watch, we have seen journalists gunned down. Under your watch, we have seen state protocol denied so many different people. Under your very watch, we also saw how you increased your own salary by 79% and gave teachers, well-meaning civil servants, only 4% increase. Mr. President, the list goes on and on and on. It is only in your own paradise. I won't use the correct expression because I don't want to inflame passions. It is only in his sleepiness, Mr. Sleepydent, his own world, that he can tell us that he's the best in terms of fighting corruption. Manasseh Awuni Azure has come out with neck-crunching investigations on corruption. Nothing has happened under your watch. Contract for sale. What happened to those guys? Everywhere has gone quiet. Zoom Lion. Huh? Everybody is stealing left, right, and center. And even when the evidence is given to you, you discourage the evidence. Under your watch, we saw journalists kicked left, right, and center by so-called national security goons, totally indulging themselves in goonism and gundaism. Hallelujah. And what did you do? You only transferred them and promoted them, the culprits, the goons, the gundas. Today, Mr. President says he's fought corruption better than everybody. From the days of Nkrumah all the way down, he's the best anti-corruption man. You wanted to take our money and give to your wife. And you had been doing it. Giving our money to your wife undocumented. And your comedian vice president, you were giving his wife to salary. For what? Does she cook for us? Does your wife cook for us? What's your official position? I'm glad that this time around feminists did not come out with their foolishness. Because anything woman, you see women in this country coming out, they don't look at the content. They are just looking at the gender. A woman has stolen something. Oh, it's a woman. It's okay. It's our right to steal. Hey, really? Can we build a nation like that? Feminism is not all about women. We are copying so blindly from people God has cursed. We are copying blindly from people who think not beyond their food. Be careful. I leave it here. When Mr. President, you said the records are there to show. I want to remind you of one thing. Posterity will judge us all. I leave it there. Still on Mr. Sleepydent, his sleepiness, Mr. Sleepydent. This one was published today, the 19th of August, 2021. And it says, this is on City Newsroom. It says, Acting Auditor General has done things Dumelo couldn't do. Did I say Dumelo? Big up yourself, Dumelo. This is Domelevo. Acting Auditor General has done things Domelevo couldn't do. And this is from his sleepiness, Mr. Sleepydent. I read, the President, Nana Adodankwa Akufo-Addo, has commended the Acting Auditor General, Mr. Johnson Ekwe-Amoah Siedu, for his work in the fight against corruption since his appointment. President Akufo-Addo said Mr. Johnson Ekwe-Amoah Siedu has demonstrated the quality of work and independence of view so far. According to him, those are clear indications of his professionalism and readiness to fight against corruption. The Audit Service Board appointed Mr. Johnson Ekwe-Amoah Siedu to succeed the former Auditor General Daniel Yao Domlevo as Acting Auditor General in August 2020, after the latter was asked by President Akufo-Addo to proceed on his 167-day accumulated leave. Yes, I don't have any disrespect for the acting Auditor General. He's come out with a few things. We hope they will follow up on these things. But I'm yet to see if he has done better than Domlevo. Remember, people don't remember the pioneers. They don't remember who built the foundation. They only remember who roofed it. Am I speaking too deep? People do not remember who built the foundation. People don't remember who watered the roots. They are only interested in who pruned the leaves. Hear me now, brethren. Domlevo metamorphosed the Auditor General's office from a sleeping, non-existent white elephant into a dog that had so many teeth to bite. It was a toothless bulldog before Domlevo. And when Domlevo came in, he gave it teeth. The teeth were so frightening that his sleepiness, Mr. Sleepydent, had to run him out of the office. Because he was biting everybody. They feared that he probably had rabies. Woof, woof, woof. Everybody was running. Auditor General is coming. Oh, woof, 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 woof. Teeth all over the place. Corruption became very, 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 very unattractive under Domlevo. They realized that they could not silence him. They realized that his teeth were so long and so venomous, maybe so rabid, that the direction he was heading, and that direction was towards Yaosafo, the untouchable. They had to kick him out of office. Go on leave 167 days non-stop. And when he returned, there was a letter waiting for him. Your retirement age. And the president was not ashamed. You are 77 years. More than 15 years. The age of Yao Domlevo. And you say he's too old. He should go home and sleep. And you should still be in power. What kind of law is that? Old men are given the right to continue sleeping. Young men are asked to go home and force themselves to sleep even if they are not sleeping. So the whole leadership is full of sleepy old goons waiting for that typhoon that will take over the whole country so that we all can go into our graves. Some old men are so happy when young ones are dying. At least they have a common denominator. We are all going to the grave. How many people know that? There are some old men, when they see young people dying, they think that they've taken very good care of themselves. That's why they are not dying yet. But they do not know that they are those killing the young ones. What should have gone to the young ones, you box it out of their mouths and sit down greedily in your sleepy situations and gorge all the food. I'm speaking paradoxically. My brother, we leave it here. Domlevo, wherever you are, you brought honor and respect. You raised the bar. Whoever comes there will disgrace himself if he does not at least leave a quarter of that bar. We thank you. We appreciate you for that love. And finally, I have just about 2 minutes more to go. I'm seeing this on Peace FM Online. This was published yesterday, Wednesday, 18th August 2021. And he says, I was at the beach on election day. I didn't vote. Monitor the polls. Former chair of the Electoral Commission, Charlotte Kessin Smith Osei, has said that she did not vote in last year's elections. She said she was at the beach on the 7th of December 2020, which was the voting day, and also on the 8th and the 9th. Asked why she didn't monitor and vote during the poll, she said, why should I? I was at the beach on the 7th, 8th, and 9th of December 2020. I didn't vote. I didn't monitor the elections. Why should I? She said on Joy News on what you see. Charlotte, we always supporting you, but you see your unpatriotic behavior. You are supposed to vote. You are a citizen. You were at the beach. You were not sick. So you decided to stay away. Maybe your vote would have counted. Why should I vote? This is so pathetic. See the mentality. You see the mentality. I didn't vote because they kicked me out of office, because they are cheats. No matter how many times we vote, they will still cheat. Still vote. It's your right to vote. It's your right to be a good citizen. It's your right to be patriotic. Let your voice count. Force it to count. If people had seen you at the polls, the cameras would have picked you up to show how you went there. Despite the fact that they kicked you out of office, you still exercised your rudimentary patriotic right. Jesus Christ. I was at the beach. Why should I? And you think you said something wise? Unfortunately, no. No. Unfortunately, no. If the next government comes and they want to choose you, I'll stand against it until you apologize. I leave it here. My name is Blakk Rasta. I appreciate you. I love you. It's been the Black Pot, aka Kukushunumo. And I'm